Hey guys, Metal Jesus here, and today I am back with my reaction and impressions of the new Nintendo E3 Direct. I just got done watching that, and I have to say, overall, I was very impressed. There are a lot of games I plan on picking up day one, so I thought I would share my thoughts of what I saw and also get some feedback from you guys. And then at the end of this video, I also want to talk really quickly about some of the disappointments, some of the things that Nintendo didn't talk about that I was kind of hoping for. And I'm going to start off by saying that it was kind of mind-blowing to hear them talk about how the Nintendo Switch is now 5 years old. Man, how time flies. Honestly, it feels to me like about 3 years old. It doesn't feel like 5 years old. So that was really cool to hear. After that, I got to be honest, it kind of started sort of meh for me. I'm not a big fighting game fan, and you know, when they started announcing the Tekken character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I gotta be honest, I was just kind of at that point just checking my phone. I wasn't super interested in that. I know I am in the minority there. I know that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is very popular, and obviously Tekken is, but I'm more of a casual fighting game fan. Casual would be an understatement. Also, the announcement of Life is Strange Remastered and also True Colors. Again, I was kind of like, I get it. I mean, a lot of people want to be able to play these games portably, and that's what the Switch does really well. For me, though, I played and beat the original Life is Strange, and I liked it, but I don't know if I loved it, and so I've kind of fell off a little bit on the series. Also, they had the announcement of Guardians of the Galaxy coming to Switch. Again, a game I am interested in, but I don't know if I would necessarily play it on the Switch. However, my ears perked up when they announced Super Monkey Ball was coming to the Switch. Now, I love the Super Monkey Ball series. I know there's been a lot of them on a lot of different systems, but it's one of those games where I'll come back to time and time again, and it looks like this is going to be a remaster of some early ones. And so that's probably a game I'm going to pick up when it comes out. I already have a bunch of these games in my collection, but again, to go back and play them yet again is going to be something that I know I'm going to do, so why even fight it? The next announcement that got my attention is a brand new 2D old school style Metroid game called Metroid Dread. Now, initially when I saw this, I was like, that looks an awful lot like the 3DS game we got a couple years ago. And I'll be honest with you, Metroid Samus Returns was a game that ultimately kind of left me a bit disappointed because I wasn't a real big fan of the aiming in that, and also the way that there was this mechanic where you countered, and I never quite found that to be very fun. And so when I saw this, I was like, this is cool that we're getting a 2D Metroid game, but I don't know if I'm going to like this one. Until I watched the developer commentary that came after the Direct. And in there, they talk about that, yes, this is the same developer that worked on the 3DS game. However, they are refining some of the gameplay mechanics that people were kind of like not huge fans of, like me. So they're working on a better counter ability, which I was like, okay, now you have my attention. That sounds pretty cool. Plus, it looks like they are going to be introducing a lot of stealth elements here. I guess there are some enemies that Samus cannot defeat initially, and so she needs to either avoid or outrun them, and so she has the ability to use this cloak to make her invisible. Also, it looks like the sound that she makes is going to be very important because the enemy can pick up on it, and then again it triggers her having to run for her life. So all of these things combined actually sound really great to me. This game is going to be coming out on October 8th. And I am now very excited for it. Also, there are going to be 2 new amiibos for it as well. I have the previous one, so I'm probably going to be picking up those. The next game that caught my interest is Cruisin Blast. This is a game I had not heard of before, and I guess it was a brand new cruisin' arcade racing game that was actually released in arcades back in 2017, and now this is going to be the first time that they're going to be bringing it to consoles. It is going to be exclusive to the Switch. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. You know, the thing is that I haven't been going to arcades in the last couple of years, or at least I don't think I've seen this one before. So this was a total surprise. Again, I love arcade racing games. I love the Cruisin' series. So yeah, I'm gonna pick this one up. This looks awesome. Then they showed us a little bit more of Mario Golf Super Rush. This is a game that's coming out very soon on the Nintendo Switch, and I had already planned on picking it up. I love these kind of arcade golfing games, and I love the premise here where I guess it's in some modes that you are going to be chasing after your golf ball and trying to beat the other golfers, which is a gameplay mechanic that sounds so much fun. That's the thing about these Mario Golf games, is that they're just a ton of fun, and I love them a lot. You know, I like them just as much as the Hot Shots Golf series. I kind of equate them very similar, but again, I like how Nintendo, you know, puts even more craziness and wackiness into these Mario Golf games. So this is going to be a day one purchase for me. Next up, another pleasant surprise is WarioWare Get It Together. So this is a brand new WarioWare game coming on September 10th. And if you're not familiar with these games, they're basically micro games that last just a couple seconds. They're fast. You have to figure out the gameplay mechanic really quickly. They are super fun. And I guess what they're introducing in this one is 2-player co-op support. So you're going to be able to play with other people. Again, another game that I am going to be picking up. I love all of these games. They're stupid fun. Then we got the announcement of a brand new Shin Megami Tensei game. This is the 5th game in the series, and I was trying to think back, and I guess the last Shin Megami Tensei game came out on the 3DS, so it's been a little bit of time there. I really like this series. I've been collecting it since the PlayStation 2. The first thing that always comes to mind for me is just the amazing visuals. I love the visual style of these games. They're JRPGs, if you haven't heard of these before. I'm sure many of you have. And the whole premise here is that you battle demons. And what's cool about it is that sometimes you get the ability to talk to them while in battle. And in doing so, you can try to convince them to join your party. And then when these demons are part of your party, then you can level them up. Then you can also fuse them with other demons in your party to create new ones, very unique ones. It's a really cool premise. These games are very awesome. So again, another game I'm probably gonna pick up when it comes out on November 12th. Here's another game I was really surprised to see them announce. That is Fatal Frame Maiden of Black Water. Now, I didn't play it when it came out on the Wii U because in North America, we only got the digital version of this game. I guess in other territories, they did get the physical version of it. But I really like the Fatal Frame series. It's a survival horror series where you have this camera, and essentially what you do is you take photos of ghosts and undead things and stun them and damage them and things like that. They're usually really weird, really creepy, just really unique games. I've definitely enjoyed the first 3. I haven't played this one, like I said. Now, the deal with this, though, is that when it came out, it didn't get great reviews. And from what I can see, it's primarily because the performance of the game wasn't great and there were some control issues. So I'm kind of hoping that they'll fix those when they bring it to the Switch, but I'm definitely interested in it. Here is another announcement that I just did not see coming, although I'm super happy to see it. That, of course, is Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot coming to the Nintendo Switch. Now, when I first got my Game Boy Advance way back in the day, I played so much of Advance Wars on it. I put dozens and dozens of hours into that game. Just super fun, turn-based tactical game. Very accessible for people who maybe aren't used to these kind of games and kind of want to jump in and don't want to necessarily feel overwhelmed. Plus, the graphical style has always been really, again, just kind of accessible. And so what I like about this is, sounds like they're bringing the first 2 back, and also they're updating the graphics. And the graphics look pretty cool. I mean, to my eye, they almost look kind of toy-like. So that's a pretty cool graphical upgrade. So again, this is going to be a day one purchase for me. I can't wait to jump in. I think the last Advance Wars game came out on the DS, so it's been a while. And then Nintendo jumped all in on the Legend of Zelda series, first talking about Skyward Sword HD. So that's already been announced, and that's coming very soon for the Nintendo Switch. You know, not a lot of people's favorite Zelda game, but it sounds like that they're doing a lot of things to make it kind of updated and more accessible this time, specifically giving people multiple control options depending on how you prefer to play the game, which is great. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to pick this one up or not. I say that, and of course I probably will, but you know, I don't know. We'll have to sort of see with this one, but it's cool that they are bringing it back and upgrading it, or at least updating it. But the really cool announcement was this 35th anniversary Game & Watch edition to celebrate Zelda. So in this, they're going to have 4 games. It's going to have the original Legend of Zelda, also Zelda 2, the Game Boy Link's Awakening, and then also this, I guess it might be an original game called Vermin. So it's done in that very traditional old school kind of Game & Watch style. But this is gonna be something that I think a lot of people will want, myself included. I really hope that Nintendo makes a bunch of these, because this is just super cool. I love how Nintendo is keeping these Game & Watch games alive, you know? It's so cool that they're doing that, and this was a total surprise, so I'm very happy to see this. And then finally they showed a little bit more of the sequel to Breath of the Wild. And this is kind of a mixed bag for me, because I hate to admit it, but you know, I liked Breath of the Wild, but I didn't love it like a lot of other people did. And I know I'm in the minority there. I know people are rolling their eyes, but it just didn't grab me quite as much as other people did. And so, you know, I'm cautiously optimistic about the sequel. Here's the thing, you know, you never count Nintendo out. They're always going to do amazing things, and I will always give a new game of theirs, you know, a shot. And so it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. They always do, like I said, do creative, interesting things with their Zelda games. So I don't know. We'll have to see how this one turns out, but I know a lot of people are really excited about it, and they announced that it's going to be coming out next year in 2022, which rolls into a little bit of some of my disappointments or things that I was hoping that they would announce. And that is, of course, that a lot of people, myself included, are looking forward to a Switch Pro, or a new version of the Switch that might be 4K or more powerful. And the reason why I bring that up now is because here's my thought. I think Nintendo is planning on using the sequel to Breath of the Wild to push sales of the next Switch. That makes sense to me. Because if you think about it, there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna be like, I don't really care about 4K graphics. I just think that the current Switch is fine just as is. But if in the fall they announced that, hey, by the way, if you want the best experience with the next Breath of the Wild game, you're gonna wanna get it on the Switch Pro, or whatever they end up calling that. You know, they're probably going to say, yes, it'll run on the previous original Switch, but if you want better performance, if you do want slightly better graphics or higher resolution, you're going to want to get it with the new improved Switch. And suddenly a lot of people who are kind of on the fence are going to be like, they're going to want the next version of that. So my guess is that Nintendo is probably going to do that. I mean, it would just make sense. And I think that would, again, push a lot of people to jump onto the new hardware. The other thing I was a little bit bummed not hearing about, and that is any additional news about Metroid Prime 4. Now, I feel like I'm being a little greedy there, because obviously we got a new Metroid game, a new 2D Metroid game, but I am really looking forward to the next Metroid Prime game. I know they had to switch developers midway, and so it's probably not in a state that they are wanting to show, but I don't care. Like I said, I'm kind of being greedy here. I would have loved to seen anything about that. It's a game that I'm definitely looking forward to. But I would love to know down in the comments what you thought of Nintendo's E3 Direct. What are the games that caught your eye? And what are some things that you are kind of bummed that they didn't talk about? Let me know down in the comments. And as always, guys, I want to thank you for watching my channel. Thank you for subscribing, and take care.